What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni straight after a Chelsea draw to Burnley 1-1 in the Premier League at Stamford Bridge. Yes, I am pissed off for several reasons. One of them being the fact that we shared spoils with flipping Burnley. Relegation threatened Burnley. We decided to share spoils with them. The second thing is that it took over 530 minutes for us to concede a goal from open play. And which team did we choose? Yes, we did. Fucking Burnley. And another thing that pissed me off. Yeah, we could have maintained our cushion at the top of the table. This is a game that we were supposed to win. You get me? Yeah, so we don't have to look back on our shoulder and look at what other teams are doing. Now, we got to look at West Ham and Liverpool tomorrow. You get me? Hopefully, West Ham will be able to do a favour for us. They've been very good so far this season, and West Ham is not an easy club to be playing away. So hopefully, West Ham can get the win tomorrow. And today's result won't be as bad as it was. Although Manchester City did lose, we still have a cushion over them. But obviously, before I get into the content, make sure you do like, share, subscribe. Leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well. But we're going to get into today's game. The 3 o'clock kickoff at Stamford Bridge today. The shocker, the surprise, and the no clean sheet. Yes, Guni is known for loving his clean sheets. And unfortunately, today he has been denied. Clean sheet denied. You get me? So, let's start off with the lineups. We're going to start with Edouard Mendy in goal. The centre-back trio that I asked for of Christensen, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. The wing-back pairing of Reece James and Ben Chilwell. Then you've got the midfield three, N'Golo Kante and Jorginho as the pivot and Ross Barkley in front of them. And then the striking two were Callum Hudson-Odoi and Kai Havertz. On the bench you had Kepa, Christian Pulisic, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Trevor Chalobah, Saul Niguez, Mason Mount, Hakim Ziyech, Azpilicueta and Malang Sarr. So let's start with this game. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Well, the performance, everything except one thing, you all know what it is. We got everything else right. The dynamics were absolutely beautiful. The passages of play were beautiful. The breaking down the defense, we were beautiful. Finding the space, we were beautiful. The passing rhythms, everything, the creativity was all there except the main ingredient that wins you games. Goals. Yes, we did get a goal, but it wasn't enough. Listen, I'm going to read out a harrowing stat, yeah, that cannot be accepted. But there is a silver lining in this cloud before people want to take this and be like, oh my God, Chelsea have a goal scoring problem. Oh, they're not going to win the league. You see all of that kind of talk there, blood. You need to allow it because, listen, watch this, yeah. 25 shots, 70% possession and 14 corners. Yeah, that we fucking battered them. And scoring one goal was disgusting. But the silver lining on that cloud is this. Can anyone guess? Bolingali's not back, and neither is Timo. Because I guarantee you, had them two been playing, that would have been an easy 3 points for us. The way we were playing was just magnificent, except in front of goal. But yeah, listen. Kai Havertz, obviously, with the opening goal in the 33rd minutes. A bread and butter. Just the standard what you'd expect from Reece James. If you've been watching Reece James from young, you'll know that he has mastered that. From that particular position, from deep on that right side, woo, swings it in, bam. All Kai Havertz needed to do was meet it with a little decent contact and guide it into the bottom corner because that cross had everything it needed. It had the accuracy, it had the power, and all Kai needed to do was glance it, and he did that absolutely marvellously. Deserved 1-0 up, and from there, honestly, like most Chelsea fans, I thought, okay, we've got the first goal. It's a matter of time before the second goal comes, then the third goal comes, and then the fourth goal comes, because that's how we've been going on. But today, it wasn't meant to be. We were very wasteful in front of goal. We could have had a few goals, man. We had Thiago Silva's header hitting the post. We had Nick Pope saving well from Callum Hudson-Odoi in both halves. Man, and then we've got to talk about decisions in the final third. And there's one player in particular that I want to call out. Although I thought he had a very, very good game, and I don't think he should have been subbed, but Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley today showed the level that he is at. You get me? I'm not expecting much else from Ross Barkley because listen, this is the thing that I criticise him for. Although he didn't have a dog shit performance, but he deserves criticism. He holds on to the ball too long in the final third. He doesn't often see the dangerous runs that are being made because he's not aware of the players that are on the outside of him a lot of the time. I watch players' body languages, and especially attacking players, midfielders, playmakers that are supposed to make things happen. I look at them before they receive the ball because they're supposed to know what they're going to do with it before they get it. Yeah, I saw Ross Barkley numerous times. He wasn't aware of the run on that right side that Callum Hudson-Odoi was making. And then Kai Havertz, who was making them runs, just cutting in on the inside, so he could have played him the through ball for the goal. He missed plenty of them opportunities. So Kai Havertz and Hudson-Odoi, they were doing their thing. Yeah, they was doing their thing. But Barkley, a lot of wasted opportunities, and don't even get me started on that shot that he missed before he came off, because that really should have been it. That should have been it. Don't know what he was doing. Took it on his weaker left foot, and his technique was just everywhere. It was just completely wrong, man. But honestly, story of our lives, man. But like, it hasn't been rearing its head in recent times. You get me? We have been scoring our goals, but today we just were unlucky. Callum Hudson-Odoi, he was at like his creative best today. I thought he was brilliant. I do think I am critical with him in front of goal as well. He could have threaded through Reece James, and that could have been another reason for a 2-0. But he wanted to be selfish, cut inside, again, shoot on his weaker foot. Nick Pope was comfortable for him, when really the right decision was to pass it on to Reece James. Now, this is what I'm going to say about Callum Hudson-Odoi, because I see a lot of our fan base rate him at like that high elite level of youth player. He isn't for me. He isn't for me. I think he's a very, very good player. I think he still needs some time. And this run of games that he's having, he has been proving himself. Yes, fair play to him. But I think he needs to be a lot more clinical in front of goal. He needs a lot more output in front of that goal, definitely. In terms of chance creation, he was let down today, because I believe it was like 5 key passes that Callum Hudson-Odoi made and he wasn't able to get an assist. So, yeah, on that side of things, I'm not complaining. He was brilliant. I love his directness. I love his willingness to beat the defenders. You hear me say this all the time. But trust me, if we had Lukaku, even if we had a Timo Werner up there, I reckon they would have converted at least 1 or 2 of his chances, because he was superb. But it's just that same criticism that I have of him, his composure in front of goal, it's not enough. He could have had 2 or 3 today, to be completely honest. And by the standard that we expect from Chelsea Football Club, we need to be seeing that. We need to be seeing that on a more regular basis. I want to talk about Kai Havertz. I thought he had a fantastic game. He had a little incident where he did fly over the advertising board, and he was in there with the crowd. Thank God he was okay. But you see with Kai today, yeah, I'm going to big him up, because quite a few times I've been saying like he's not getting enough goals for me. Well, today he did get his goal. Big up Mr. Kai Havertz, but that's not all he did. I thought he was fantastic in terms of stretching out that defence. Him and Callum Hudson-Odoi, actually, he worked very hard today. He ran his socks off today. Burnley didn't like having to deal with him. He was pulling them out of position, making spaces, allowing our fullbacks to get in behind and stuff like that. That's the key that Kai Havertz brings, and he did get his goal today as I wanted, and it was a beautiful header. So big up Kai Havertz, and hopefully that little knock shouldn't affect him going forward. I think the whole team played fantastic. I do think it was a really, really, really good team effort. Where I will sort of criticise is Thomas Tuchel, because although Ross Barkley did do well, personally, I probably would have started Ruben Loftus-Cheek for a game like this, because the form that Loftus-Cheek has been in, and then obviously with the physicality of Burnley, this could have been a game that he could have done well. Could have even got himself a goal today. I understand that, you know, Barkley's been doing decent bits here and there as well, but I think when you look between the two players, Loftus-Cheek has got a lot more to his belt, because in my opinion, I think his decisions in the final third are a lot better. I think Loftus-Cheek is more of a goal threat than Ross Barkley. Although Barkley's got more goals than him this season, I do think Loftus-Cheek is the better goal threat, and I feel he should have started in that hole between Hudson-Odoi and Kai Havertz. Pulisic did come on, but again, these substitutions, that's another thing. They're all like for like subs, because look at the subs. Pulisic on for Callum Hudson-Odoi, Loftus-Cheek on for Ross Barkley, and Mason Mount on for N'Golo Kante. Now, this is my thing, yeah. I probably would have taken off Jorginho. I've seen a few people say this as well, and one in particular, obviously, Nini FC from Blue Lions TV. Yeah, he might have already said this, but I agreed with him. I think we could have gone to a back four. N'Golo Kante could have shielded that back four, and we could have pushed some more players kind of forward instead of making like for like. Because honestly, we were looking for that goal, and we needed to try something different to get it. We needed to take a bit more of a risk. So Tuchel, he needs to work on his substitutions being a little bit more effective. You get me? He needs to have that killer instinct a bit more, and he needs to identify. You get me? Because otherwise, boy, it might cost us this season. But this is why I'm not too. But listen, I know it's a bit of a hasty statement, but this is why I'm not overly worried and overly pissed off. Because look, it goes back to what I was saying. Yeah, when you look at it in hindsight and you look at it for like in context, sorry, when you look at it in context, there's no Lukaku, there's no Timo Werner, and that's the player and those are the two players we were crying out for today to finish off those opportunities. We've got no dedicated striker, and this is my thing, Kai Havertz. He is not an out-and-out number 9 striker. So I am guilty of this as well because I hold him by a certain standard. But Kai Havertz, we can't hold him to the standard of the conversion rate of one of these elite strikers, or even a very good striker, because that's not his specified position. Yes, he's been playing there. Yes, he's been doing the false 9. But if you want him to be getting goals like that at that kind of frequency, you're gonna have to give him time. You're gonna have to give him time because he's also gonna have to learn that number 9 role as well as making an impact in that squad. But so far so good for Kai, honestly. Like, everything else around this game is looking sharper now, you get me. Hopefully he can continue on with that run. Christian Pulisic, he didn't really have much to do when he came on the field, bro. And this is my thing. You see, when it's at like 1-1 and your guy is just coming back from injury and you're trying to force him to make things happen, it's not gonna happen. Like, not in 10 minutes. You get me? Maybe he could have started the game today. Who knows? Or maybe that might have been a bit much. I think, you get me, the medical team know better than what Guni does, and so does Tuchel. But yeah, man, that Ross Barkley decision, that kind of disappointed me a little bit still. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We saw Mason Mount come on as well. We're already aware of the issues that he did have with his teeth, with the wisdom tooth. So I wasn't expecting him to feature for the full 90 minutes today. But it was a bonus to see him. But yeah, Burnley. Honestly, I don't think they executed a top game plan. They just came to do what they came to do with the same standard 4-4-2 that you expect to see. The long balls, the crowding out the areas and winning the second balls. Burnley did that. Although they were under the cosh, they was under life support in the first 10-15 minutes of the game. This is more self-inflicted. The 2 points were lost because of us being poor in front of goal. But Burnley, they had like 5 opportunities on goal. It was 1 block from Mendy, 2 off target and 2 on target. Obviously, them scoring one of them. But that's all they needed. They needed that one opportunity. I believe it was a ball over the top. It went over to... Who got substituted? I believe it was Jay Rodriguez. He plays it across to Vidra. There it is. 1-1. And from that point on, you already knew the Burnley fuckery was coming. You knew the Burnley fuckery was coming, and you know what their tactic was. Okay, we've got our 1 point. That's what we're here to do. We're going to shut up shop, and now we're going to do the shithouse mode, shithouse FC. And if you don't know what shithouse FC is, it's basically giving them little niggly fouls and kicking the ball away. When you're fouled, you roll around and you pretend like you've been shot. When it's a goal kick, the keeper basically takes his run up from outside of the stadium before he touches the ball. When the ball's in the air and the keeper gathers it in his chest, he's basically holding it like a newborn baby that he don't want to put down. You get me? And when it comes to just anything shit house affiliated, Burnley do it at a world class level. And Sean Dyche has coached it down to them to a T, and that's exactly what they did. Although we were still applying pressure going forward, still chasing that goal, it wasn't enough. Today was just like, it was a glitch. It was just a mad set of events, because I have to repeat this. To those people that are worried, Chelsea are not getting enough goals. This is why they're not going to win the league, you see? Look how many opportunities they wasted against Burnley. It's going to cost them at the end of the season. Relax, blood. Relax. We still got Bolingoli coming back after the internationals. We still got Werner coming back after the internationals. Captain America's just returned as well, you get me? Loftus-Cheek is back in the fold, and he looks like he's going to create for us as well. Callum Hudson-Odoi looks like he's coming back in form, you get me? Our defence is still our defence. Although we conceded today, bruv, I'm not even going to be too harsh on them, yeah? We still got good things to smile about, but these things happen. Did anybody expect Liverpool to get the draw with Brentford and with Brighton? No. Did anybody expect Man City to lose to Crystal Palace? I wasn't super surprised, but in the bigger scale of things, no. So these things happen in football. We're still top of the table, we're still scoring goals, and we still got the least conceded in the league, man. So after the international break, though, we do have Leicester, we do have Watford, and we do have Manchester United. But I do think that is a potential 9 points for Chelsea Football Club. I'm looking at nothing less, especially after today's surprise. We need the boys to get it right for us. We need Tuchel to get it back to winning ways. We could have had our 8th win in a row, but unfortunately we were denied by Burnley Football Club, and I'm fucking pissed off at it. One more thing I must say before I go, because a certain Arsenal fan who looks like Booker T thinks he can kind of banter me on social media. But this is what I'm going to say to you, Mr. Booker T, yeah? That's what I'm going to say to you, Booker T. Listen carefully over there at your Barstool headquarters or wherever you are, yeah? Arsenal haven't won a meaningful trophy in about 17 years. And when I say meaningful, I'm talking about the trophies that players dream to win. Yeah, and that is the Premier League and the Champions League. You've won none of them. There's one cup that you've never won in your history, and another one 17 years ago was the last time. These times, I don't even think there were colour phones out. I don't even think the iPhone was out. There was bare things that just was not about. Was even YouTube around when Arsenal last won a title? You lot need to let me know down there in the comments. So I say that to say this, yeah. Arsenal fans, you can banter me however you want. Clean sheet, your defence not scoring anymore. Or what's going on with your attack, rare tear. But the matter of the fact is, right now, we are above you. London is blue, and we've been better than you for like the past 17 or so years and counting. You get me? So it's water off a duck's back. You get me? So, but to everybody watching, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, whatever time it is, make sure you do stay safe. And regardless of the result today, up the Chelsea. Bless.